And a new warning about how the feds screen migrants coming into the country. The Homeland Security Department's Inspector General says the technology and the procedures that they are using, not really fully effective. No kidding. Quote, DHS will remain at risk of admitting dangerous persons into the country or enabling asylum seekers who may pose significant threats to public safety and national security. DHS says it agrees with all of the report's recommendations and is starting to fix the problem. Lee Zeldin joins me now, former New York Republican congressman, ran for governor 2 years ago. Lee Zeldin, great to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Martha.
You know, I mean, when I look at this list, this is what the DHS inspector is recommending we do at the border to prevent dangerous people from coming in, okay? Fix biometric data, develop new policies to check names, update technology, update screening requirements for individuals, work to automate security checks for asylum applicants. What are they doing with the $86 billion, Mr. Zeldin, that is designated for the Department of Homeland Security? If these are the very, I mean, I could have written this list. You could have written this list. How are they not doing these things already?
There's no excuse not to. It's great that this is being identified as a need that still exists. But for those who are in Capitol Hill right now and they're trying to figure out, what to do with government funding, the government's funded until the end of September. They need to make sure that the money that is appropriated is spent as intended. And this clearly is something that should not still be a need at this point as we're having this conversation in June of 2024. When they catch 8 ISIS-affiliated terrorists, we say, great that you caught them, but we also ask, as concerned Americans, how many more have been let in? And if there is this vulnerability at the border, where you can't verify everyone as to exactly who they are, what their intentions are, it's just another reason why we have to close the border. And as you point out with that list of five more reasons why we have to control this border. We need to just shut it down if we can't identify who's walking in.
It's crazy. I mean, you look at the money, and it always comes down to, oh, well, we need more money for that. We need more money for, Border Patrol. We need more money for all these things. And yet the money that exists, $86 billion, and they haven't updated their technology. And they said these people were vetted who came across the border. I mean, this should give everyone no security sense whatsoever. What about what happened in New York with this individual? What does that sound like to you? And are you concerned that there are more people with designs on New York City or New York State?
There certainly are more people out there who are planning no good criminal behavior at different levels in different cities and elsewhere. We need to make sure that law enforcement is properly funded and supported, that they have the tools that they need to be able to conduct these investigations, that our prosecutors are actually focused on prosecuting violent criminals as opposed to seeing resources getting spent elsewhere, as we have witnessed since the first day that Alvin Bragg has come into his position in one borough. And he's not the only district attorney inside of the city of New York who has shown priorities that have been out of whack. So thankfully, the NYPD has been on top of this case. But what I'm concerned about is that as more illegal migrants keep coming into the country, they might continue to organize. They may continue to ramp up their activities that could be gang-related activities. And we may be going backwards towards that time when, MS-13 just a few years ago was ramping up and committing violent acts.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to think we're not when you see this Venezuelan gang activity and the attacks on police officers. I want to play this really disturbing video for you. This is New York anti-Israel protesters chanting on a subway. Watch this.
Raise your hands if you're a Zionist!
Raise your hands if you're a Zionist!
This is your chance to get out!
This is your chance to get out!
Okay, no Zionists, we're good.
Woo! No Zionists here.
Ain't no Zionists here, telling people they should get off that subway train if they're Jewish or if they support the Jewish state. Did you ever think you would live to see this moment in New York in the subway?
No, absolutely not. I'm Jewish. I went through kindergarten through 12th grade, college, law school, 4 years of active duty. I never experienced anti-Semitism. I didn't have people around me who had experienced anti-Semitism, and I thought maybe that I would be the first of what would be many generations that would not have to any longer experience this. What we are witnessing on a daily basis just in New York, you show one example there. There were people who had their homes vandalized in Brooklyn. I saw a story that came out of Western New York in Buffalo where there was a day school that was blocked of government funding because it was a Jewish-affiliated day school. This is happening on a daily basis, and this is now crossing into the line of terrorism. Yet there's been this free speech conversation at one point where we're saying that, hey, there's certain signs here that this is beyond free speech. And people who are using October 7th as a rallying cry, that's a red flag. But what we are witnessing right now is outright terrorism. I say this: identify it, confront it, and crush it. You can't be silent. You end up embracing it, elevating it, empowering it, even if you do nothing. You have to step up and lead. You have to identify it and eliminate it.
Amazing that these people feel comfortable walking onto a New York subway and chanting these things. It is absolutely shocking. Former Congressman, former governor, run for governor, Lee Zeldin, thank you very much. Good to see you as always.
Thanks, Martha.
Thanks for coming.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.